Russia's foreign policy has taken a defiant turn, issuing a stark warning to the West and demanding open dialogue amidst the ongoing chaos in Ukraine. In a recent meeting between Russian officials and US representatives, all eyes were on Moscow as it underscored its hardline stance on NATO, Ukraine, and the growing threat of military confrontation. The tension in the room was palpable, with Sergei Lavrov made it clear that its commitment to diplomacy is matched only by its willingness to escalate the conflict if necessary. At the core of the discussion was Russia's call for regulating international relations to prevent military confrontation.
But when they differ, it's important to regulate them and discuss and prevent the provocation of any military confrontation or any other confrontation. But when those national interests align, then we need to do everything to unite efforts on these tracks for the sake of mutually beneficial projects, both in the geopolitical sphere and in economic affairs.
The rhetoric grew bolder as Russia demanded greater collaboration with the West, but on its own terms. This was a clear message of cooperation, but not without a significant price tag: respect for Russia's sovereignty and its strategic interests. The underlying threat became unmistakable as the conversation turned to NATO's expansion and Ukraine's potential membership in the alliance.
President Putin had many times underscored that NATO expansion and Ukraine's entrance is a direct threat to the interests of the Russian Federation, a direct threat to our sovereignty.
With these words, Russia drew a clear line in the sand. Ukraine's aspirations to join NATO were presented as an existential threat, one that, if pursued, risks provoking the full force of Russian military power. As tensions escalated, Russia made it abundantly clear: any foreign military presence in Ukraine would be met with unyielding resistance.
Deployment of armed troops from NATO countries under any different flag, under an EU flag or under national flags, doesn't change anything. It's unacceptable to us.
The Russian representative's declaration sent an unequivocal message to NATO: stay out of Ukraine or face the consequences. In a final effort to control the narrative, Russia also sought to defend its military actions, framing them as highly targeted and strategic.
Today, our American counterparts were speaking about a sort of a moratorium, probably, to be imposed against attacks against objects of energy infrastructure. We said that we had never jeopardized and attacked civilian energy infrastructure. We only attacked objects that served the armed forces of Ukraine, the military assets of Ukraine.
In this view, Russia is simply defending its interests. And if that means targeting Ukraine's military infrastructure, so be it. As the world watches, Russia's diplomatic message is clear. Dialogue is on the table, but only if it is shaped by Russia's interests and respected by the West. This isn't just another diplomatic negotiation. This is a high-stakes game of geopolitical chess. Every move could tip the scales toward all-out confrontation or a fragile peace. Will the West back down, or will Russia's unwavering demands push the world toward a new global order? The world waits, and the clock is ticking.